It is also the story of me as a mother, finding my way down an unexpected path. It is the story of mistakes and triumphs, of altered dreams and agonizing hope. A story of marital compromise and sibling rivalry and the shifting perspective of advocacy as I tirelessly find new ways to give my nonverbal boy a voice in this world. In the end, it's about discovering exactly who I was meant to be, and I owe it all to my son. 1. Jamie and I met right after I graduated from college during an internship I took at a large bank. I had no desire to work in banking, none whatsoever, but I wanted to make money and get my foot in the door somewhere. Spending my time with professional men and women seemed like a logical next step toward adulthood. I was just coming out of a relationship and not really looking to date anyone. As a woman who always had a boyfriend, for the first time in my life, I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I spent my summer working 2 jobs and having fun with friends. Then I met Jamie, 5 years my senior, and far too serious for me. He was working on a promotion from banker to branch manager and had no time for me. In fact, many years later he would tell me he nicknamed me the flouncy intern in the short skirt and ratted me out to our boss for taking long lunches. We were at a different place in life, or so I thought. But midway through the summer, we found ourselves together at a softball tournament, the rest of our coworkers canceling last minute. We decided to make the best of it and ordered a pitcher of beer on the patio of the bar. He spoke of his future plans, his dreams of owning a little house and a fishing boat, and his close relationship with his family. When he got up after a bit to go catch for his softball team, I was a goner. I don't know if it was the tight white baseball pants, the fact that he was a real grown-up man and different than anyone else I had dated prior, or a combination. I spent the night daydreaming about a future with Jamie. A year later, on a beautiful fall night, he proposed on one knee. I said yes before he could even finish the words, "Will you marry me?" The next year flew by. We purchased a 2-bedroom home in Two Harbors, Minnesota, a tiny city located on Lake Superior, where the average high temperature in the summer was 60 degrees. Neither of us knew anyone there, but Jamie had been promoted to manage 2 smaller banks up the North Shore, so we decided to make it home. I had said goodbye to my career in banking when I found out how much direct sales was involved and took a position as a marketing coordinator for an assisted living facility. We spent our time living a rather simple life. Just starting out in our careers, neither of us had really made any money, but we didn't know any different. We bought that old fishing boat Jamie had told me about on our first date and spent most of our time outdoors and fixing up our old house, and we planned our wedding. During this period, I very distinctly remember attending a weekend of premarital counseling at the church we had chosen. The class was centered around topics that a couple might encounter throughout their marriage. The class was led by 2 pastors, a husband and a wife. It seemed completely unnecessary because we were madly in love. Our relationship could handle anything, and certainly we didn't need help from some counselor. We sat around the table, munching on cookies and drinking punch, while the pastors threw out different scenarios. How would you handle a partner with an addiction? Or a partner who lies? A partner who gambles? They told stories that seemed ridiculous. One included a wife racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars of credit card debt in secret. In another, a husband drank a case of beer every night on his drive home from work, only to tell his wife he was sober. Jamie and I giggled at some of the stories and gave a side eye to the rest. We spent much of our time doodling and planning our honeymoon. It's not that we were rude. We just couldn't believe that we would ever end up like that. We were best friends, young and in love. I was 24 and he was 29. We had planned our life together and wanted the exact same things. A house full of kids, country living, success in our careers, and eventually a cabin on a lake to retire to. It was simple. It was planned, and therefore it would happen. Oh, the arrogance of 20-something kids. The day dragged on. The final question at the end of the session was, how would the 2 of you handle having a child with special needs? I can still remember one of the pastors asking that question. I can even see him. What he was wearing and how he said it so casually, so matter-of-factly, like it was a common thing.